Paula Foster. Paula Foster.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, and especially Rita, I want to thank you so much for this inspiring presentation this afternoon. It was something that touched my heart, and I hope that it did for you too. I'd like to cover my evaluation in 3 areas: what I saw, what I heard, and what I felt. What I saw when Rita first came up to the platform here was a very confident speaker. She looked at all of us all the way throughout the room, and I felt that she had a message to present to us this evening. And it was wrapped up in a really wonderful story about a young man in her life. What I saw was her use of the stage was actually quite good. She was over here, she was over here, she kind of went forward and back a little. What I would like to see in a next presentation was when you went around to the back of this lectern, it cut you off from many of us. I would like to see you stand just right here and you can address this side of the audience. What I heard, the introduction drew me in with great visual word pictures. And actually, those words were used throughout this whole presentation. I would like to give you one thing to work on, and that is your use of your voice. The modulation for me was a little more on the static area. There weren't large ups and downs. There weren't high levels of volume, slower, faster pace. It was all pretty much at the same pace. In particular, you used the word wow. And that's what I heard, was wow. I would like to hear wow! And people would have looked up and maybe listened even more closely. I think that using your voice to accentuate words adds to the impact that your message has on the audience. And lastly, how I felt. I was a little worried at the beginning of this presentation when you started talking about Seattle. I was born and raised there. And so I thought, oh dear, I'm going to hear a bunch of trash talk about the Puget Sound area being all rain and rain and rain, because I know better. But I heard throughout your presentation you changing it by the use of the story and analogy with the Wizard of Oz. That with the beginning of your interaction with the young man in this story, that it felt like Kansas. But as time went on and you heard what he had to say and you were able to respond to him, you saw it changing over completely. So thank you very much for this presentation, filled with inspiration, great word pictures, and a memorable ending. Mr. Toastmaster.
One minute on the clock, please. Please prepare the next speaker.